Have you ever puzzled over the biblical prohibition of certain feasts during times of captivity? What were the reasons behind these divine restrictions and how do they resonate with us today? In the book of Deuteronomy chapter 12 verses 10 to 14, explicit instructions are given about worship practices once the Israelites enter the Promised Land. They are commanded to obliterate all pagan places of worship and centralize their worship at the place God chooses. They are sternly warned not to offer sacrifices anywhere else. But what's the first thing they do? That's right, they started celebrating Christmas, Easter, Halloween, Passover, Feast of Tabernacles, and everything else they could in America. Moving on to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verses 4 to 7, we find Jeremiah addressing the exiles in Babylon. He advises them to establish homes, to seek the welfare of the city where they are held captive. He encourages them to marry and have children, but also warns them against false prophets who might incite rebellion or advocate for a premature return to their homeland, such as Pastor Bob, Rabbi Bob, and Wicked Servant Bob. In the book of Ezekiel, chapter 11, verses 16 to 20, Ezekiel delivers a message of hope to the exiles. He relays God's promise to gather them from the nations and restore them to their own land. He assures them of a new heart and a new spirit, enabling them to follow God's decrees and keep His laws. The prohibitions against observing certain feasts while in captivity or outside of the land of inheritance are deeply rooted in the unique circumstances of the Israelites' history. During periods of exile, they were separated from their central sanctuary and unable to fulfill the requirements of the Mosaic Law in their entirety. You can go read about this in the book of Daniel. Fast forward to our present day, and we find that these specific instructions regarding feasts in captivity are often overlooked. Many Christians and Torah followers do not adhere strictly to these biblical mandates, yet they still consider themselves blessed. This calls for a return to the full instruction of God, a repentance, and a renewed commitment to His teachings. In conclusion, these biblical warnings serve as a potent reminder of the importance of obedience and faithfulness to God's commands even in the face of adversity. As believers, may we remain steadfast in our devotion to God, trusting in His promises of restoration and redemption. The journey through the Bible is a journey of understanding, of discernment, and of unwavering faith. It teaches us that even in the most challenging circumstances, obedience to God's commands should remain our guiding principle.